So, good morning, everybody. I don't have a whole lot to add because I think the pertinent details have been touched on by Vince and Kirk, but I'm actually thinking about this as a press conference. I swore off press conferences a long time ago. I held one back in the days in the mid-90s when I was working for Teresa Heinz. I was organizing publicity for a program called the Heinz Awards, which recognizes these folks who have done great deeds in the world. And we had C. Everett Koop, the former Surgeon General, and Beverly Sills, former opera diva, and I think Andy Grove, who was the CEO of Intel, was there. And so we pulled together a press conference, and I had those august people sitting right here next to me. Nobody showed. But we decided we really wanted to do it in this case because it is such a momentous moment, and we wanted to acknowledge it and celebrate it and hope that the community would take interest. I am a passionate believer in community foundations. I've been in my job for 2 years now. I came into my role as president of the Pittsburgh Foundation with one very simple mission, which was to make the foundation a force for change in our community. That's a significant statement coming from community foundations because there are really two types of community foundations in the world. There are community foundations that just want to be repositories for charitable money, and then there are community foundations that want to use that and the power that comes with that to really drive change in their community. And one of the things that struck me as I got to know Kirk and Vince was that was their vision of a community foundation as well. The credit for this, really, I have to say, it would be great for me to stand up here and say, I am such a visionary guy, but it isn't about the Pittsburgh Foundation. It's actually about the Community Foundation of Westmoreland County, beginning with Kirk and Vince, but the entire board. One of the things that we're very good at doing in the foundation world is lecturing nonprofits about how they ought to think differently about structure, how they ought to think differently about aligning themselves with each other. We usually do it when they're in trouble, but sometimes we like to lecture people anyway, and we do it when they're in strong periods as well. This was a case where the two community foundations decided, maybe we ought to put our money where our mouth is and walk the talk a little bit and see where it might lead. And where it led in the end was to this notion that we could be stronger together on behalf of both our communities by coming together. The county line that divides us is real from a governmental standpoint, but it's fictional from the standpoint of community and the needs that our communities have, the overlap of the challenges that we face, the opportunities that we have, the fact that our donors and Westmoreland's donors move back and forth across that line all the time. So we identified together a mutuality of interest that we really realized we were missing an opportunity, missing a bet by not working much more closely and in fact in concert. And I think this is a huge day for Westmoreland and for Pittsburgh, but it's also a huge day for community foundations around the country. To come back for a moment to why I'm such a passionate believer in community foundations, there are lots of places where individuals with wealth can go to deliver their own philanthropy. They can go to a bank and set up a fund or a trust. They can go to Fidelity or Vanguard and or a financial house of some kind to set up a fund if they want to. What's distinct and unique about a community foundation is that by putting their money together with the money from other donors in their community, they're building the capacity for community to actually have a voice and to begin convening people around community issues and to get individual philanthropists to think in a different way, in the same way that we are as organizations, to think about their philanthropy connecting with other people's philanthropy. And that's the opportunity that we think exists in Westmoreland County, an opportunity that we think can grow substantially over the course of the ensuing decades as a result of this coming together of our two institutions. So I just want to conclude by paying tribute to the board and staff of the Community Foundation of Westmoreland County. This would not be happening absolutely would not be happening were it not for the interest of this particular group of visionary people. And I think what they've done is set the stage for some really positive things in Westmoreland as well as Allegheny.